Hello, and welcome. WR Freddy here. Just wanted to bring you in today. You know, we've been working on Areth, so I want to give you some updates on Areth and how things are going with that. But more than that, I want to take you in a behind the scenes part of building Areth. Now, I mean, this isn't going to be like huge, fancy, extremely, but you get to see a little bit of my process and how I go about and trying to prepare on working on this map of Areth, and what will be going into future maps and stuff, especially concerning Loren and the world of Areth and Alan the Great. In the background, you hear music by Celestial Leon Project and a host of other various artists on a Spotify playlist. As you know, I always love listening to fantasy music in the background when I'm working. It helps inspire imagination, helps build atmosphere for what I'm doing, and really kind of sets the mood and tone for things. Anyway, without further ado, let's turn this thing around and get started. All right. Now, as you can see in looking here, you see the map of Loren is turning out fairly nice. I mean, we have got, I'm going to take you off my stand here, and I'm going to bring you in closer to see. All of the mountains are now filled in. Look at that. See how they almost look like they just come up, just rise up off of the 2D plane of the map itself. It's almost as if they stand up on their own in the map. These actually turned out so much better than I had actually planned, and I am ecstatic with the way this is turning out, which is all the more reason I am taking my time to do so. I know it's been it's been about a week since I posted and I've done any of these videos, and it's only because I don't want to get in a rush and mess up something that I cannot undo. Nothing is so precious that you got to rush it to get from one end to the other, because chances are you're going to make a major mistake when you do. However, when you take your time and you put pride and love and care into it, you see an entire different story unfold. Look at all this. I mean, I am so proud of this, and I know that seeing this world come together like this, when it was in the original format, which is covered up by my creative clutter, to this, it is such a huge difference that I never imagined it would look like this. So you can imagine the joy in seeing it start to come together. Anyway, and that's not counting when I start going in and doing the individual realms. And I will probably go in and do maps of individual realms as I build the kingdoms. I've still got stories and things I need to write and do during the meantime. Anyway, that being shown, I'm going to get you started back up here. Okay, what you're going to see me do, I'm going to slide you in over here and let you take a look. Now, from here, what you're going to see is this right here. As you see those trees and stuff like that, I am working here to develop how I want the maps of the forests and stuff out here to look before ever putting the pins to the map. Again, it goes back to that taking time to do what's right and necessary, to have it in planning, because I want these trees to kind of have the same pop effect as the mountains have, but in their own way of doing so. Anyway, that being said, let's get started on this. Now, I've got you put in place. So what I'm doing, and this goes in behind the scenes. So what I'm doing, let's say let's use one of these. Okay, here is the outline of like what I've done for a forest. Now I'm going in and I'm going to do my symbols. And the reason I'm doing this is I would rather find what works here before I do here, because once it's on here, I can't undo it. I can't clear out that mistake, especially when it comes to like Algadorn or see, I was able to fix that with Aegis, but those, I mean, that's a lot of forest work that I have got to do. And see, still, even then, the first thing I'm trying to get is I want to get this background image in. So I'm doing various concepts of how to put this together so that when it does so, when it comes together, I'll know what works, what doesn't, and my main map isn't the source of trial and error. Now, just to let you know, there will be a point that I will be leaving this map for a while, and I'll be moving over to Alderaan and working on that. Now, to let you know, Alderaan is for a different project altogether than what Areth is. And I project that I will be done with Alderaan long before this is ever complete. And I'm talking about not just Loren, but I'm talking about the world of Areth in general. The world of Areth is my lifelong project and is something that I will not just shortcut or take lightly. It already hurt my heart incredibly that in the time that I had to set this on the back burner to do outside projects, especially for other people and other things, that much of the lore had left my mind, and I had to go back and reflect and reread lore that I had written to refresh myself on it. And that's to be honest with you, to be someone who loves what I'm doing so much, that's kind of heartbreaking. Because, you know, this is, when you create something of this kind of magnitude, it's not, you know, it's kind of the same reason like I wouldn't just get a regular Dungeons and Dragons team that go explore this, or Castles and Crusades or anything like that, because you got good players that, or you got some players that all they want to do is burn the world that you're building. Some characters, which I wrote an article on this on my website, if you go to evanstonetower.com and go under the Ye Olde Wayfarers Adventurers Almanac, you'll see some of the articles I wrote before I had to take a kind of a forced hiatus from that project. Not a hiatus I am proud of or happy about, so I will be restoring that blog before too long as a different name altogether. But you do have some people whose idea of playing Dungeons and Dragons is just they want to say they're heroes. They want to burn and destroy everything that they come across, which pretty much is everything but a hero. Uh, anyway, as you see right here, I've got the lime greens. Okay, this is the lime green, like is right here. This one is pale green, like is here. Whoops. And that's how you do dominoes. Anyway, but no, these are the two different colors here. So, what I'm going to try now, I'm going to go in and do something a little different. So, I've tried this method. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this really, really, really dark green, this like hunter forest green, and I'm going to take the fine side of it, and this time I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my coloring in of this section first. Ooh. There we go. Now you're seeing how it's all coming together. Again, I can't state how much I love having that music in the background. So yeah, Celestial Aeon Project, if you happen to be watching this, I definitely appreciate the contribution that you have made, you and the other artists from Everune, Score Wizard, Adrian Von Ziegler, Bruneville, all the artists that have contributed so greatly in the development of this world and my fantasy writing altogether. Then I honestly want to extend my utmost thanks. So anyway, we're going to do this and keep this going. So as you see, it's coming along. Now just to let you know, I'm not doing this with just forests. Before I ever put in mountains, the trees, any of it, before I ever put those onto this map, I developed the symbols that I used for the mountains and perfected them to how I wanted them to look. I did the same with the jungle trees down here. I did the same with with the way I wanted the hills, the way I wanted the water ripples right there close to the coast to show where it's getting close. So yeah, and even the types of lettering I'm using, I do this all separately before ever applying it here to know what's going to work and to make sure that it's going to fit in actual practically how it's practically going to fit in, rather than looking at it and saying, well, in theory it should do this, and then botching it all together and starting all of this over. That would be a nightmare. And if you've been watching this series of Mapping Areth from the very beginning, then you know that alone is its own entity as well. It has been a lot of work, and the thing about it is all you've gotten to see is from this going from black and white to where it is now. You didn't see the whole tracing, the whole adding in the mountains, everything else. You just saw going from the black and white image it was to the flat 2D blueprint to this. So yeah, there was so much more involved. Anyway, all right, there is our trees. Whoop, wait a minute. That wasn't meant to happen. Anyway, okay, there's our trees. We can give it a second for that to fully dry. Now I'm going to step in. Let's see, we are going to try the lime green. We're going to try this color as my background now that I have included this. is actually working out nicely. I might like this. That means it's going to be a lot more work. It's going to be a lot more tedious, but we're going to see. Lime green is coming in. Which means I may have to go pick up another lime green marker. And then make sure that the pigments are all the same. So I might pick up tubes. Look at that. Oh wow, I'm liking that. Okay, we're going to do something similar. This time we're going to go over here. And I'm going to use the Appleberry Woods as my source this time. And I know it's not going to look perfectly like the Appleberry Woods, but this is for testing theories. All right, now back to the fine tip here. Now, many of you may be wondering, oh, if you're just going back and refilling it, why don't you just use the marker itself to begin with? Well, if I mess up, I can't erase the marker, I can erase the pencil. That's a kind of a... In other words, I can erase if I mess up with a pencil while I'm penciling it in, and I've had to do so before. But I can't fix it if it's already in permanent ink. Alright, okay, give it a second, let's do that. Okay, the first one was the lime green, so we're going to set that lime green right there. Now we're going to go pale green, which is this one right here. We're going to do the same thing as we did right here. And there's a possibility that I might actually use both of these, because you see, this right here being, whichever one's, this one being a little darker than the pale green, I could actually use way up here in the coniferous section, up in the northern part of Loren, which will be something completely different. But we're going to see how this one works first. So let's not plan on that just yet. Now, here we go. Alright, now look at that. So that draw. Alright. Now that both are dry, we're going to go in and we're going to fill in the shading. First thing we're going to do is we're going to try this one for shading. Actually, we're going to do both of these. Okay, just to let you know how we're going to do this. Now, these hardwood looking trees, the oak trees and stuff, I'm going to use a lighter color than what I'm going to do with the pine and evergreen looking trees. So let's try this. So first we're going to go in here and we're just hitting the sides here. Oh, no, I haven't gone to fix that, but get carried away. But at least it's here in the test page, not on the looking at it right now. See, if I do it this way, it's going to take a lot longer. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Halloween's coming up. I gotta get another table so that I can work on my map and still have my Halloween village set up. Alright. Okay, we're gonna do the same over here on this one now. So we're coloring in both different forests. Okay, now, let's see what I missed right here. Okay, now let's switch it over. Oop, wrong one. Wrong side. There we go. There we go, we're getting there. Alright, now. Alright, we're seeing how it's looking. Looks like it still needs some work. There's just something not clicking with it. Let's see if I can do something like this. Let's try this. Giving this a test run. Interesting. Try this one. You know what? I may have an idea. All right. I may have an idea. Let us see. Go back to this. Back to the medium.
finish filling in these pine trees just to be a little bit darker. I want the pine trees to be darker than the richer and darker than the hardwood trees. Because I may have found the method in my madness. Next, I'll be falling into infinite baths.
Alright. I think I might. Okay, let me do this now. Before I do this, let me lighten this one up. I think I might have found something here. Look at this. Look at this. See, this is why I do this. Look. Oh my goodness, look. I think I may have found my method. Now. I gotta redo that part, but right, look. Now. And then this green be the darker shade for the hardwood. Yeah, if this works out, it will take me a little longer to do these forests because it's going to be very meticulous. But very well worth it. Let's do this side now. All right, oh, I missed one. I like it. I like it. Look at that. Look at how that just changes up the game. Come on, let me bring you over here so you can see. Okay, now. Okay, this is what I had started with. Look at this. This is the idea for what would be in these. I think this is going to be I think this might be my method right here. I like it. Yeah, there's your. Alright. That is just phenomenal. Alright. I'm going to get you back up here and set you down. So, as you can see, that's a brief glimpse behind the scenes of what goes in to actually creating the way that I'm trying to do this map. It's not just about going in and penciling. Now, there are some people who could go in and sketch these things like they're writing their name. And I'm not one of those. I meticulously research how I want things to work out, how I want things to go. So when I do put them into place, and trust me, imagine you saw those forests. Imagine when I get ready to do the mushroom forests of Domandur. That's going to be a whole other bout with trying to find the right blends of color and how to do it to make it stand out and pop without looking gaudy and just fake and 2D on the map. So that will be another exciting adventure. Then we've got, once I fill in the forests, I've still got to do the water outside, the actual oceans and stuff, from the Aquilarian Sea to the Sea of Tears. So we've got much, much more to go. And like I said, you get to join me with this journey. I always appreciate everyone who jumps on here, watches these videos, and is sharing in this journey with me. One day, and I know that's actually not a day in the week, but one day in the future, when you're looking on a bookshelf or you're looking up at a poster and you see this map up for people to grab, for people to use and decorate the rooms or for books and stuff, you can look back and say, hey, I remember watching him do this. And that'll be exciting, because I know that those of you who have watched this and get to grow with it, it might feel as real to you as if Tolkien himself was sitting here sharing with you bit by bit on how he created Middle-earth. Which I know for me, that would be a tremendous inspiration, as would it be if R.A. Salvatore or David Eddings or even Margaret Wise and Tracy Hickman were here sharing their descriptions and what went in behind them building their worlds. So, at which I will give credit on this, which is a good shout out to Bob Salvatore. Man, if you get a chance to meet Bob Salvatore, excellent dude, man. Love him to death. Phenomenal writer, phenomenal human being. But when I was talking to him about when I met him and was talking to him about what I was doing in that, which you can only talk in generalities in that sense. But when I was letting him know, not only was I doing the maps, but I was writing the histories, the legends, the lore. He come out and let me know that I was on the right path of what I was doing in building my world, because he had to do very similar when it came to building for the Demon Wars saga. The Demon Wars saga. Let me try and get that out right. Anyway, so you can imagine hearing one of my biggest writing icons letting me know that I was on the right path, someone who was out there, who was established, as opposed to someone who at the time was just barely getting this world started. And I have continued on that path, even though, like with all things, we all go astray at times. But not only in this, but when I'm building Alderun, or the fantasy Catawba Valley of Whispery Hollow in the Lovelady Township, or even some of the other worlds that I am building for other stories. I would love to continue to build, develop, and decide those worlds. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you stay with me. that you'll continue to follow me on this journey, be a part of it, and I look forward to sharing more stories, more lore, more map making, and more adventures in these fantasy worlds that I have to offer. I will talk to you soon, and upcoming, I know that Halloween season's on the way. So be sure to tune in, and if you love ghost stories, be sure to tune in to W.R. Frady's Friday Night Frights. I'm going to be working on different locations. I've got some guests coming in. Then I may even have some local guests in some local areas that will be getting featured. So be sure to stay tuned, join in, and I will talk to you again soon. This is W.R. Frady. See you next time.